I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
Who is the lucky brunette?
Last name Beeswax, first name Nunia.
Oh, my third wife is biracial.
It's simple, really. First we...
What's the most you ever lost on a coin toss?
Sir?
The most you ever lost on a coin toss.
When you want to talk sports, you ask folks who have seen it all up close. So on The Al Travis Show, we go with the guys at the end of the bench. Time to talk all things sports.
Love having him on. He's John from the guys at the end of the bench. John, how you doing this morning, my friend?
I'm well, Al. How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing well. I want to talk Lynx with you in a little bit, but let's start with your Minnesota Twins. You and Dan had quite a tough Friday after what we call Bloody Thursday. And the Twins just emptied the house, right? I mean, 40% of the players gone. They lost 3 straight games after that. They did win yesterday. How are you feeling about your Twins now? And they've got a little time behind you.
Yeah, it felt like they were making a movie called The Purge, Minnesota Twins version. You try to look for something positive out of this, but it's really hard. I'm looking at the names on the lineups, and I'm like, who are these guys? I hardly know any names except Jeffers and Buxton and Wallner, but you get beyond that, and it's like, Royce Lewis was in there, but
they brought up 9 players from AAA. This is a true story. So I'm driving home from the cities last night. I got to hear the win. Driving home from the Twin Cities yesterday, and I turned the game on. I want to see who's in the game. John, I'm telling you, it took about 5 minutes before I knew who was on. I didn't know the pitcher from their team. There's some guy cat's up. I don't know this guy's name. And you're waiting. Oh, he got it hit out to right field, and some guy caught the ball. And I'm like, my God, I don't know who's who. I don't know the names until, it's hit between this guy. Oh, I know that guy's name. Now I could imagine where we were at. That's how many new people were in there. The announcer, John, well, the first 2 things, I don't know what happened to my radio. So I tuned in the game, and then something happened, something electronical. It wouldn't let me switch stations again, wouldn't let me turn it up or down. It literally froze on my Twins game. So I listened to the whole thing. These announcers, John, trying to get, some new cat shows up to bat, and they're trying to spew out his stats and stuff. No one knows anything about any of these guys. This guy was talking 100 miles an hour just to tell you who was at the plate. It's sad. And this guy was a AAA player just yesterday, and then he'd get a hit or a bunt or something. Oh, this is the greatest day in his life. And we're up. The funny thing about yesterday's game, we're up 3 runs going in the bottom of the 9th. Some pitcher's got to come out, and no one knows. And he's 102 years old, 35, something like that. But he's got a 6.7 ERA. I'm like, oh, my God. Gives up 2 runs, and we end up winning it by 1. It was kind of interesting to listen to. But, John, we haven't won a series since the All-Star break. And I don't think it's coming our way.
Probably not, and I'm wondering, do I even bother learning who these guys are, because they're going to be around next year. Some of them probably won't even get invited to spring training. There's that one guy, Roden or something like that.
Yeah.
2 games is not a fair assessment, but he had 10 at bats, and 6 of those bats were strikeouts.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I could probably do that.
Be in that same
ball.
Give
me the league minimum.
Yeah.
I could probably make contact on 4 out of 10 at bats.
But John, can you blame these cats? They're in AA, AAA ball for a reason, right? Then all of a sudden, with 2 months ago, you throw them at major league pitchers who want to feast on this. We're a team that other pitchers can really help their ERA. We're a team that other teams can just pounce on and make all their numbers better. You're getting pitchers out there. I don't know who in the world's pitching. Go get a few hits, and all of a sudden your numbers look better. You know what I'm saying? We are a team everyone wants to humiliate, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't even know if it's a silver lining, Al, but I was expecting Cleveland's totals to be like 10 runs, 12 runs.
Yeah.
15 runs, and at least we kept it. Is respectable the right word? I don't even know if that's the right word anymore, my friend.
I don't have any idea. I just don't see much for us, and I don't mean to be Mr. Negatrometer guy, But do you think we stand much
No.
of a chance with Detroit? That's coming in here next week. Bring up the rest of the schedule here.
Oh, I'm sure the Brooms will be out in Detroit for sure.
And then you have the Athletics, and then maybe Chicago. That I hate to say that. The next series that looks good is Chicago and the White Sox against our AAA team. Can't you call us a AAA team? Most of our team is from AAA. We're a AAA ball club, are we not?
Yeah, if I had bought season tickets, I'd be pretty mad right now at the product they were selling. I'd be like, can I get a refund? Because you promised I would get, to see baseball. And I don't know if I'm seeing baseball right now. I'm watching, what is it? The Colonels? Isn't that what you call the Cedar Rapids team?
Yeah, the Colonels. Here's an interesting one because you're seeing memes and stuff right after this was done, and I don't know who put it out there, but I saw this thing that didn't the Twins promise us a real baseball team when we built them that stadium, right? Wasn't their side? We build you this huge stadium. You put a quality team on the field, and that doesn't look like that's happening currently. Souchere today at the Star Trib did have an interesting article. That they can't promise you're going to be there all the time. He said you're going to have up years and down years, but this seemed like self-inflicted wounds to me. Why would the public get involved with something like this if because he wants to sell it, if the Poleheads want to save their money, I have to buy him a stadium and they can just pull the carpet out from up. Like you said, I think you'd have a class action lawsuit if you actually had season tickets.
Yeah. Seriously.
I want my money back. How about a big refund for everybody who wants it right now from the Poleheads? I don't think it's going to happen.
I told the wife that, come September, we can probably get some primo seats pretty cheap because the guys will be dumping them, for next to nothing.
Go to the Chicago game.
We can score some nice seats behind home plate probably for $10 because I bet they'll be going that cheap.
Yeah. Now, here's the Poleheads, and again, I ripping on them. They say the operation is $400 million in the hole, and they're just not going to go any further, and I get that. But, John, they bought the Twins for $44 million in 1984. They're trying to sell it at $1.5 billion.
Right.
If they sold it at $1.5 billion, they would walk away with over $1 billion in profit. Are we seriously feeling sorry for the Poleheads?
Nope. Not at all.
All right,
there
good.
was a funny meme going around that Jim Pohlad had taken the World Series trophy to Pawn America to make some money off of it.
I saw that. Again, you lose a little money up front, but they're making massive money hand over fist. I just don't see the problem. But anyway, they did come up. The only worst thing about the poll is they came up with that weird blue jersey thing that looks like water. I'm not big on it. We got to go to break. When we come back, I want to talk about another personal deal, and this with the Minnesota Lynx and women's WNBA. We'll talk about it next with John right after this.
Dust from livestock buildings can be harmful to your animals and to you. Coughing animals can lead to costly vet visits and other serious health problems. Now there's an environmentally safe solution for your dust problems. It's called DustLock. DustLock can control the dust all summer long with just one application. Protect your animals and your health with DustLock. Learn more at dustlock.com.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc., Midwest Money Management, and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
It's nice to know a guy that knows a guy. Al Travis.
I know him. He's John, one of the guys at the end of the bench. Love having him on the program. John, let me point out an interesting couple of things about the WNBA. And I am seriously trying to catch up, and I understand I'm behind. But a big announcement for the Lynx, who I do know are number one, and they're having a great season. The Lynx made a key move. They picked up, evidently, the most improved player from last year, a Carrington gal from the Wings, in exchange for Miller and Samuelson and a 27 second-round pick. I didn't know any of the players. It was this big thing that came out of like, what's it do for me? I have no idea. And that's when I realized the limited nature of WNBA. There's only so much bandwidth for people. I didn't know any of this. Did this do anything for you? And I get it as I keep learning. I'll have more names, but I had no idea who any of these people were.
Well, I did. And it's less about the people we let go, although, one of them was okay. But Marion was last year's most improved player. Mm-hmm. And she's considered to be offensively. I won't mention her in the same breath to your lovely, your most favorite Wolves guy.
Gotcha.
But should have been a source for the Lynx because their defense has been inconsistent. Probably one of the reasons they're not totally unbeaten this year.
Gotcha.
He should prove for the run and for the playoffs.
Let me throw this out to you. This is so like you say, I'm sitting here going, I just didn't even know enough about this. This was my gals, for the Lynx in Minnesota. I didn't even know enough about who's who. But on the other side, this weekend was so funny. My dad, of course, passed a couple months ago. She has found herself a huge Indiana Fever fan. Her and Dad found Caitlin Clark, and that got him into the thing. She's given me updates on the fact that they've won like 5 in a row now without Caitlin there. And I said, well, how are you keeping up with this, Mom? Well, I watch the games. It really disappoints me Caitlin's not there, but they're my team. My mom has become a rabid fan of the Indiana Fever, and it's all because of Caitlin Clark. She'll watch a team without Caitlin there. The WNBA is going to have to play this very softly and figure out how to multiply that Caitlin effect across the league. My mom's hooked. Long pause.
I mean, and that's exactly what the WNBA wants. They're really trying to build a fan base. You've seen the protests from the players that want more money. They want more equality with the men.
Yeah.
I'm sort of on the fence with that because part of me is like, well, you got to play a longer season like the men do then. Although, and I think I mentioned this last year, Al, I see no reason why they could not expand their playoff games. The final's only 5 games. Hockey could go 7, and they would draw fans, and they would get TV ratings.
Let's talk the money for a second, John. You can't just say we're going to pay you what we pay the men. The men's NBA makes massive amounts of money, and actually, they're the only reason the WNBA is there. Now, you could say they should get the same percentage. I think the men get roughly 45 to 50% of the overall revenue for the NBA. The players make 50%, the management does. I'm under the impression those percentages are different for the women, but watch out. If you ask for that, they're going to say, good, we'll let it stand on its own. If the money doesn't come and that sort of thing, you're going to lose money. I don't know how to get there until you get this Tiger Woods effect with Caitlin Clark. To get that money up in the WNBA, then I think you could ask. Here's my point. If they went on strike, John, and my mom could not watch the game for a couple of months, my mom will find something else. You'll lose the people that currently want it.
Yeah, you make a point there, Al. They're at a critical moment. They're poised to really turn this into a big thing. They got engine teams coming. So because you could make the whole thing go down. But personally, I don't think it's going to stop. I mean, the interest goes all the way down to the grade schools and and the girls coming to fit and expand the teams and keep growing and growing. I don't think you could stop it. It's just a question of You know, how do they manage it? How do they manage the growth?
Yeah,
to make sure they don't grow too fast. But it won't go away. Won't go away.
No, I agree with you. Let's switch to my favorite sport because it's time, John. We made it to it. The Minnesota Vikings play their first preseason game this Saturday, I believe, against the Texans. Yeah. Will you be sitting there watching on the NFL Network? What are they doing? No one's going to watch that. I'm not getting the NFL Network just to watch a preseason game.
No, because the first game, it isn't even worth learning who those guys are because none of them will be there for the second game. No, I don't think I'll waste my time on a weekend, which is valuable to me, watching that. I'll read about it, see who's doing good, see who's got a shot at making the team. But, you know, the regular guys who we're all familiar with are already on the team.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get to see them play. So what's the point?
I don't disagree, but it lets us think football. Because as I'm hooked on my sports station, because the radio wouldn't change, they started with a big thing about the Minnesota Vikings. And the breakdown of preseason passing, J.J. McCarthy, I don't know if any kid coming out, well, it was a decent school in Michigan, could be used to this kind of scrutiny on everything he does in preseason. Have you been watching this? Like, oh, his long ball's fine, but it's kind of the soft passes, and it's like he threw two that he shouldn't have thrown. It's flipping practice. It's you against your other team. I get you want to do well, but they're beating this guy up, saying he's got good news. You know, no one said he's out yet. But can you be, what would he be, 22 years old and take this kind of scrutiny before you ever take your first, snap in a real game?
Yeah, it's a little extreme. And you can tell when you look at the paper as football gets closer, the amount of coverage given to it before we even get into the season, just tremendous. They devote pages and pages and pages.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I reading about, Joe Blow from Slippery Rock University? He's not going to make team.
Yeah.
I don't care what he did in college. And you're right, though. The analysis on JJ, we might as well know what he had for breakfast and what his workout routine is.
Yeah.
He's going to make mistakes because he needs to.
Yeah.
Because he has to get a feel for the offense, and they're going to correct him. And the quarterback whisperer that O'Connell is going to fix it.
See, and I completely agree. But the outtakes and like I say, every movie makes the number of steps back. It's just let him be. Let the kid be. Let's see what happens in 3 weeks. I can't imagine they will have him play in any of these preseason games. Do you? Why would you do that? I think his first action would be the Bears.
In the media, Al. It's you guys in the media that are doing this, Al. You know that.
You guys, they never ask. That's so funny.
Yes.
Everybody always, you guys, the media. They never call Al about the media stuff. I'm not in the monthly phone calls. I get nothing. John, I'm out of time. Love having you on. I appreciate it, my friend. We'll get you back here on Friday. Fair enough? All right, he's
Go
John.
Twins. Whatever they can.
And whoever those guys are on the field.